So welcome to the Team Passion Fire team call this week. This week we have guest speaker April Rahm, who is a new diamond on the team, and I'm so excited to hear what she has to say, any tips, kind of the change in mindset whenever you go, when you decide to just like go for it and dream big. I also want to give just like a shout out to everyone, because this week, actually this whole month, has been like nothing but team domination. Like everyone has either is like hitting Success Club or about to hit Success Club, or just has an obscene amount of volume, or just finished a program, is just now diving into a program full force for the first time. Like I don't really see anyone who's not doing something. Like everyone is on fire, which is awesome. And it's pretty normal for February, but it's like escalated a lot this year, which is awesome. We have Mary Lauren is now 2-star diamond qualifying. Allison Hill is 1-star diamond qualifying now. We've got like 3 new diamonds on the team. People about to, like, there's so much going on, and it's so awesome, and I'm like so excited for us. It makes me even more excited for Summit.
Yes.
The team vibe is on point. I'm really stoked. Yeah. So, and I think Cowboy is going to come have fun with us, even if he doesn't go. So, yay.
That's exciting.
It's only like a 45-minute drive from our house to there, so I don't know if he wants to work out with Shanti with us, but he's totally willing to. Is this recorded? Oh, well. Anyway, so I'm going to let Mary Lauren introduce April, because she actually sponsors her, so she can speak much more to April's story than me, even though I could totally talk about April all day. Go, April.
All right. So I'm especially excited that we get to hear from April today, my second diamond. And I feel like, relating back to last week talking to Allie, it's going to be a different vibe, because Allie did start off with like extreme confidence, wanting to work the business and, run with it. Whereas April wanted to start this business because she has the biggest heart in the entire world. And she truly just wanted to help everyone. So like her family, I know she introduced William, her husband, to Shakeology because she believed in it herself, and she just really wanted to help those in her life. So she didn't start as much with the confidence as a leader. And I think that's why, specifically this call. Wait, hold on one second. My TV is like blaring. So give me one sec. Can't hear myself think. Okay. Anyway, so specifically this call, I think, will be relatable to the newbies that might be listening, because I know on April's journey, I had to reach out to her several times, or she reached out to me, ready to just throw it away because she didn't see herself as a leader. And, there were days where she was literally like, I'm about to call now and quit. And I know there could be people on this call who might be at that time in their coaching career where they're just like, I don't know if I'm going to be good at this. I don't see it happening. Like everything is failing. Everyone's saying no. I don't know what to do, but quit. And she saw something within herself that I saw as well, but she didn't fully believe that she could bring it out. And I'm so glad that she stuck to this journey and is now where she is today. So I'm so excited for her to share, the ups and downs along the way and how she is where she is today. So I'm so proud of you, April. Can't wait to hear from you.
Thanks.
So take it away.
Well, Mary Lauren is pretty much on point with that whole thing. I did not, seek out to coach. I wanted to lose weight. I was desperate. I think that the best way to explain my success and the steps that got me here is to explain where I came from. I have been heavy all my life. I have always struggled with my weight. Anybody that has you know that generally society will shut you up. Especially if you're a kid in school. I mean, everybody gets bullied a little bit, but, you know, with me, that was the first thing and the only thing people saw, and they defined me by my size. That in itself led me to shut down. I learned very quickly how to make myself invisible and how to fit in anywhere, in any situation, without calling attention to myself. I spent most of my teen years and all of my 20s up until 28 with a very emotionally and mentally abusive husband, which added to that make yourself invisible. I don't want to cry, but I'm going to. I met William when I was 28, and thank God I did, because he, with his patience and love, pulled me through some pretty dark crap. You know, I think any of us could probably relate in some way or another, whether you're heavy or you're not, or you've been through abuse or you haven't. I think, you know, when you grow up and you go through high school and you go through your adulthood, you want to fit in, you want to be somebody, you want to matter. And so I met my William. I had my babies. I'm going to make this real quick so I don't, you know, keep everybody down here. I had 2 children, both of which weighed 9 pounds, 8 ounces at birth, and both of them were C-section babies. I was told throughout my 20s that I could not have kids. So when I had my babies, it was a shocker, and it was a blessing, and it was wonderful. And I pretty much sat and just lived them, you know. I absorbed every moment. I didn't really pay attention to my body, which continued to grow. I topped out at 312 pounds. And I got angry. I was miserable. I was depressed. I was in a really, really dark place. No matter how wonderful my husband was, how amazing my beautiful children was, no matter how blessed I was, I hated me. I hated my body. I hated myself. It's that feeling where you wish you could just cut your own skin off, you know, like you can't move forward with anything. Everything inside of you is negative, and it starts to relay out throughout your whole life in every aspect of it. In October of 2014, I was in a mom group, and our Mary Lauren posted an ad, or what they call an ad, talking about losing weight and how you could lose like 15 pounds in 21 days. And if you were interested, drop a comment, I'm in, you know. So I did. And she friend requested me, and she messaged me, and we talked a little bit. I was broke. I had no money. I had a need. And to be completely honest, I wasn't ready. By the grace of God, I kept this beautiful woman on my Facebook. And I say that because for 5 months, I watched her. Her posts, her positivity, you know, her workouts. And I was the one that was like, oh my God, shut this woman up. Really? Does she need to talk about it every day? Oh, yay, Mary Lauren. You know what I mean? Like, somebody get her a friggin' gold star and shut her the hell up. Obviously, all of that was coming from my negative heart. You know what I mean? I had a really crappy incident happen to me when I had gone back to upstate New York with my family to visit my family. And I kind of hit my rock bottom in life with my body, with my health, as a mom, as a wife. And it brought a lot of things into perspective. So I came home, and a couple of days later, there was Miss Mary Lauren, who posted a beautiful transformation picture of her belly, and it nailed me right in the gut. The fact that she had the balls to put her gut up there, and excuse my language, but it's the truth. She had the cojones to put that photo up there in front of the world, in hopes to inspire somebody else, made me connect with her before I even reached out again. I admired it. I was inspired by it, and I was ready. So I commented, and in true Beachbody coach fashion, she picked up on that comment and was right in my inbox. And that's how it got started for me. About 2 weeks later, I started the 21-day fix and Shakeology. And within 6 days, I had already signed as a coach because I was that moved by how wonderful not only the program and Shakeology are, but the community. I don't know about everybody else. I'm speaking for myself and where I come from. Groups of women generally are not positive people. I had a really hard time in life dealing with, peers of my age in the female form. They can be really hateful from a bad place. So I was a little nervous at first, and had some wonderful experiences with this amazing community. Natalie Edwards, Allie, all of them. All of them were in there, and they were smiling, and they were positive, and they were lifting me up higher and higher and higher. And it had nothing to do with coaching. And that was my biggest downfall right there. I was lucky because I had kind of put out a couple posts at Mary Lauren's suggestion, on my Facebook about what I was doing and some of the success I had achieved. And Jessica, my beautiful coach, picked up on it, and she pretty much reached out to me and signed in, and she was all for it. So that was easy. And then my daughter was interested. So we signed her up. That kind of flaked out. So I signed William. No, I signed Ashley actually before that had happened. And again, now that was my first coach that I had reached out to myself, but I don't really count that because Ashley's like my little sister. So that really wasn't very challenging. And then I signed William to keep Emerald, to hold Emerald, blah, blah. And I sat, I watched everybody posting, and I was in love with, I frolicked throughout the whole community, like you get added to all these groups, all the team pages and all the challenge groups, and you're making all these new friends, and, you want to keep in it. It's amazing. You have friends, you mean something, you belong somewhere. And I was losing weight. So, hey, right. But that's all I did, and Mary Lauren or Christina would post these things like, guys, let's do our PO3. Let's be all in coaches. Let's be girl bosses. And I'm like, yeah, all in girl boss. Woohoo. And then I sat there like I never did anything with it. Because I was so focused on just the social aspect, when you learn to live transparent, not transparent, when you learn to live invisible, you have a really hard time becoming transparent and really absorbing the information that our upline is giving us and turning it into your own story and your own success to put it out there. So I know I'm supposed to discuss my aha moments and what my steps were to let me to here. Forgive my stuttering. I would say the first moment was knowing that Mary Lauren was leaving for a couple of days and going to Summit. As weird as this is going to sound, again, remember where I come from. I was scared. I was like, my ML, you know what I mean? Like, I can't not have Mary every freaking day of my life, And I didn't want that to go away. And it kind of brought into my mind, like, man, what if this wasn't here? Where would I be? I could still do the fix. I could still have Shakeology, but I love my team, I want this to always be a part of me. So that was step number one. And so the day that Summit happened, I messaged Jessica and Ashley, my two coaches, aside from William, but let's face it, I run his crap. So I messaged my two coaches and I said, guys, I'm ready. Let's kick this into high gear. And, their response was like, yes, like they had been waiting this whole time, for me to reach out. So we started. We made a plan. We formed a plan to do a challenge group together so that none of us felt alone. And we went for it. And that first challenge group we ran was pretty successful. But that's skipping ahead a little bit. The other thing that happened the week before Summit, KP dropped some serious tough love bombs and really made me think, like, she has a way to make you feel like she's talking directly to you. So when she's saying, guys, it's great that you're here with us. It's great that you're commenting and that you love being here. But if you're not doing the work, why the hell are you here? You know what I mean? And it makes you think. So all of that was happening in my head. Summit happened. And then, of course, our amazing upline was in constant contact with us throughout the day from Summit and all of the amazing things they were learning. And one of them was, if you want to succeed and you want to grow, be transparent. And again, that was another moment for me because I'd always been invisible and I was comfortable there. And I could be a people pleaser and still have friends and make an okay life there if I stayed invisible and existed instead of living. I hope my words are making sense. So the other part of that being transparent is Mary Lauren had been up my butt for, months to show my face more, to put myself out there more. And I kind of just blew her off like I typically do and kick myself in the rear 4 months later. but it hit home when they posted that. So I set aside a whole day and I got myself prepared and I got in front of that mirror and I took an after picture. And I posted on July 18th my very first transformation photo, and my world freaking exploded. You truly know that this is where you want to be and how amazing this business is and how blessed we are to be a part of it. When you have so many people coming to you like, oh my God, what are you doing? I need help. Oh my God, you're so inspiring. Oh my God, please don't stop posting. You know, can we talk? I mean, the fact that you realize you matter, not in a sense where you need to get all big in your head like I'm the bomb, you know, but like, oh my God, I make a difference to people. I have a voice. I am a human. I do exist outside of having fat, is a really big life changer, you know? So it spurred me on. I kept going. I hit Success Club for the first time. It wasn't technically Success Club because I didn't have my Shakeology in that month. But I hit SC6. I changed 3 lives in a month. I was pumped. Everything was going great. My team was growing. My girls were on board. Everything was going great. And then we had an incident in my family in October. We had gone through 2 ear infections for 2 weeks with our 2 kids. And then my husband's mother fell and broke her neck. And not to get into a whole bunch of family drama, but it turned out to be where my husband and I were pretty much responsible for her while she was in the hospital and in a home. She was scared, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I basically just dropped everything, literally. I kind of talked to the girls throughout the day. I sometimes posted. I stopped my PO3s. I did not have a challenge group going. I didn't check in with barely anybody, none of my challengers, nothing. I just kind of let it all go. And allowed life to overwhelm me. Because again, I mean, I was brand new at this. I was brand new at being transparent and not invisible. I was brand new at owning who I was as a person and standing on my own 2 feet. So it was really easy to sit the hell down and just let life take over for me. Things got a little better right around Christmas. I had a clear direction of where we were going with his mom. And my husband kind of looked at me and said, what are you going to do about Beachbody? Because you're miserable. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I want it. I haven't done it for so long. I'm so behind, you know, whatever. And he's like, babe, you were so happy. And you were turning and you were showing the world who you were and how I know you to be. And there were so many people who were inspired by you. Think about how many still could be, and the ones who won't find their way if you stop now. And that little bit of, you know, push, and then reaching out to ML in her inbox and being like, I don't know if I can do this, and having her tell me to shut the fuck up and get on it, you know, excuse my language, really set a fire under me in a way that it had not before. All the success before that I had achieved meant nothing to this point. So I, again, hopped in a chat with my girls, and I started hitting PO3 like it was nobody's business. PO3 was something that I had ignored. Again, when you are invisible and you don't want to upset anybody and you just want to be okay with people, you're not really going to get in their face and be like, hey, you know, but nothing happens if you don't. And their life might not change if you don't. So I did PO3s. My postings got better. And I stopped giving a crap if I was behind. I stopped caring about the 2 months that I lost and realized that that was part of my journey and I was going to grow. And I did. I signed a lot of coaches really quick. People that I'd had my eye on, people that I had reached out to before. It was, you know, I had to go through a couple of conversations that were a little uncomfortable with like, well, if it's so wonderful, why did you drop it for 2 months? But, you know, I was honest and I was transparent and I was open and they appreciated that and they're on my team. You know what I mean? So that's basically it. You know, as far as my success goes, I realize and recognize that I have an amazing friggin' upline who gives a crap about me, that won't let me fall if I really want to be here, who's not afraid to tell me, you know, the bold-faced truth, like, babe, you're not doing it. So I'll have to tell you. I have my team, my Jessica, who is like my ride or die, my Ashley, who's always been with me, and all of the rest of these new ones that I hope to watch grow. And I guess my point with this whole thing is, if you want to be successful and you're ready to hit diamond, you really need to look inside yourself and make sure that that is exactly what you want. And then you need to come to terms with who you are and where you come from. And don't be afraid to do that. Sometimes it's really hard to look at the nasty negative that was before and come face to face with it to get it the hell out of your way. And then just put both feet on the ground and start running. Because if you do your PO3s every day, they become easier. It's like nothing. Do it for a week. By week 2, you don't even realize what you're doing. You're so far ahead of yourself. You're doing it like second nature. Put yourself out there, because it is scary as hell to post that picture of your big old belly hanging out, or, your double chin not looking all great. But you have an entire freaking team that would come down like hell on anybody that dared to bring you down. Allow other people to lift you up. There's nothing wrong with it. And don't be afraid of your own success. And that is it.
Can we just drop the mic?
It was that pride.
I want to say something. I unmuted myself and you beat me. You're so rude.
She's mine.
Well, you can close it out.
Okay, fine. Say something.
Okay. So since I'm not Mary Lauren and Mary Lauren sponsors April, I wanted to say something first. Because I just feel like everybody's going OMG, she did power of 3s and now everything's changed. But not to be that person, but this is the second week in a row we've had someone on the call who was like, how did I change from not really doing much to diamond? And all they did was get over themselves and do power of 3s. Not to take away from everything that April said, because it was impactful and I cried and laughed 75 times in the same 20 minutes. But aside from her story, and we all have a story and we all have shit that sucks that happened to us, and a lot of the shit that sucks that happened to April happened to me, so I probably cried the whole call. But seriously, it's not there's really not a secret. And every time we do these calls, people are like, OMG, it's just power of 3s, cool, I'll just get over myself and I'll do it. And you get excited for a week, and then you get all in your feelings and get upset because people tell you no. That's not how anybody made it to diamond. They didn't try for a week and get over it. That's not what happens. It's doing it when you don't want to do it that makes the difference. I'm restarting max 30 next week, and it's, as soon as you max out for the first time, you so want to just quit the workout and be done because it sucks and you get defeated, but you don't make it to the 30 minutes unless you do it again, and you max out 7 more times in between minute 1 and minute 30. But when you're done, you're like, oh my God, look what I accomplished. That's the same thing as making it from coach to diamond. It's getting through those crappy moments when you're like, I'm done, and then you're not. And I really believe, truly wholeheartedly, I've said this before, unless you have that moment where you've thought about turning in your coach cancellation, I don't think you've really dug in deep enough, because I've been there and done that. If you haven't struggled that bad, you're not trying. Because until 100 people have told you no and told you you're a psycho and you're weird and upset you to the point of tears, you do not care enough. You don't. You have to care that much. You have to care enough, Nick cares enough about me to offend me so much to the point that I cry so that I'll do better. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to tell me that I don't work hard enough. But you know what I mean? In this boot camp, I thought about quitting boot camp on day 1. I was like, what the hell did we get into, Mary Lauren? What are we doing? I work from home all day and I don't have enough time to do this. What the hell? But really, that means you need it. When something affects you that much, you need it. And if you've been not really doing much, but you've been a coach for 6 months or a year or longer, there's a reason you're still here. It's not just a 25% discount. If you're watching this call and you're just a discount coach, you're not here because you're just a discount coach. Obviously, you're watching for a reason. You just need to figure out what the reason is. and then get over yourself and do power of threes and be a little girl boss like April. By the way, and I'll toss it over to Mary Lauren. I think it's so funny that you said, oh yay, just give this happy bitch a gold star or whatever, because then you made Mary Lauren 2-star qualifying, so you actually gave her a little shiny star.
Isn't that awesome? I want to say something real quick.
I laughed my ass off when you said that. I was like, look, you did give her a star.
So totally, like, that is hilarious.
So funny.
I've never even seen it like that at all.
Okay,
but real quick before wait a minute, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Before ML takes over, like KP said about getting over yourself, I got caught up in my feelings there, and I forgot like something that I had wanted to say. It isn't just about not wanting, getting all charged up and doing your PO3s for a week and then giving up because of all the no's. There are going to be times when you don't want to do PO3s because, your kid pooped up his back and your husband's being a jerk and nothing's going right. Or, you got to figure out where the hell you're going to get the money to pay the bills that month, and you've got to plan groceries and you don't know how the hell you're going to afford your Shaco and you just want to give up. Those are the most critical times in my career that I found to hit PO3. Because I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to struggle anymore. So it isn't just about, getting a little charge and then somebody says no and you run away. You're going to have to face it all the way around, especially at the hardest moments. Okay, I'm done now.
I don't even want to take away from what you just said to us, because I love your story. You know how proud I am of you and what you've accomplished and where you're going. You just blew my mind. And I feel like you probably have done the same for everyone else on this call. I want to run and do 1,000,000 power of 80,000 right now. And I can't say enough how proud I am of you. I am trying so hard not to cry right now. And I don't do that. But really, I don't know if you're comfortable with me sharing where you came from as far as schooling wise. Is that okay?
Did I not say that? Oh, yeah.
Can I?
Feelings. Go ahead.
You're okay? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's something that
it's huge.
She's so proud. She shared with us once that she has her GED. She didn't complete high school and never thought that she was actually going to do something big. She wanted to stay invisible. She didn't want to, she didn't think, it's not that she didn't want to, she didn't think it was going to happen for her. And the fact that she now has accomplished so much with us, and it's only the beginning. She's the CEO of her own business, and she's going to move mountains. She already has. It just means so much to me to be able to have a helping hand in this, to be a part of it in some way for you. And I'm just so proud.
In some way, Mary Lauren, you saved my life and you gave me a career. It doesn't matter how hard I worked for it. And I think that's another point everybody needs to remember. I would not be sitting here. Jessica would not be sitting here. My downline would not be sitting here. My clients who have dropped their sugar, their blood pressure, their whatever, would not have happened had Mary Lauren not reached out and been who Mary Lauren is with me. Real and genuine and caring and herself. And that's a huge thing. If you do what she did, you will have the same impact on somebody's life. She saved mine. I have 1,000,000 blessings, and I'm not discounting my husband and my team and whatever. But this girl sat with me through the hardest, darkest points. She looked at pictures of myself that made me want to vomit, and she complimented how firm my fat was. She listened to me cry because I didn't think that I would matter enough to a freaking person, and said, you do. You matter enough to me, and that's enough. Go get it. So don't discount yourself as people either with how much you impact your team and your clients, because clearly I'm a high school dropout. I have no, I used to be ashamed of that. I'm not now. I'm a high school dropout with a GED, and really thought that I would be one of those moms in the bring your parent to school day to talk about their career that would just be sitting there like, sorry guys, you know, and I won't. I'm going to be a badass girl boss, and I'm going to be an elite, you know, massive star diamond up with everybody else. I have no doubts. I'm done.
I can't. I'm done.
Seriously.
I'm done. Does anyone have any questions for April?
I'm done too. Someone say something. Painful experience. In a beautiful way. It's in a good way.
Okay.
Julie is just crying forever with her adorable new baby.
What?
I said Julie just said she's crying forever. She's holding her new little mini muffin.
Oh, so cute.
Does anyone have any questions for April? Lauren's like contemplating if she can think of a question. I can see it on her face. She's like, I will come up with something. I will come up with something. That's how I know Lauren's part emerald personality. She's like, I don't have a question. Hold on. That's so funny.
Well, if not, I seriously think we should just drop the mic and let it flow. But thanks for everyone joining in.
Yes, thank you.
I don't think I've ever cried so much on a team call. I might have. No, I haven't.
You probably have.
Okay, so I do have a question.
Sarah.
I knew it. She thought of one.
See, I had to think of something, you know. All right. What made doing your PO3s a little bit easier? Like, PO3s, obviously, we've talked about it, and we all realize that if you don't do your PO3s, you won't go anywhere. So what makes doing them in the day a little bit easier so that, you know, whether it makes it quicker or it just makes it, I don't know. I can't think of a different word for easier, but what helped you get through your PO3s daily?
I'll be honest. I still struggle with it some days. So I'm not gonna lie. No, I mean, it isn't like I run at them with open arms every day. In the beginning, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of January when I got my little fire relit. It was the realization that there were still people who were looking at me, waiting for me to move so they could move. My team, my Jessica, my Ashley, and my clients who were kind of sitting on the back burner. And when I reached out to them, were like so excited. I realized at that point that just that little group of people were so ready, that there's a massive world out there of people who need to be ready. And I got a little angry at my past. I sometimes use that as fuel. The people that, you know, kind of taught me to be invisible, use that as fuel. That's what I do. And I got a little angry, and I go after people, you know, like with confidence, because usually when you're pissed, you're pretty confident, you know. I take no's in stride because I was a big no to Mary Lauren. And sometimes, I mean, to make it easier for myself, the days that I don't want to do it, I will revisit the things that I need to. Again, that's another one, you know. I looked at Mary Lauren and I made fun of her. And I hate saying that, but I did. And I have to remember that there's so many people who are looking at me and who are being negative at me because they are where I was, and eventually they're going to need me. So I don't take it personally. If you want to do your PO3s without having a problem, don't take it personally, because it's not about you. It's about the world out there that needs you. It's about your team that needs you to be successful, to keep pushing, to keep saving people, in my opinion. I hope that answered your question.
I think, I totally think it did answer her question, but I wanted to add something to it really quickly too. I think one thing is, a lot of times, and I'm so guilty of this, I will spend an hour figuring out a way, like thinking of how I'm going to do my PO3s that day. And like, if you just get over it and do it, it's so much easier. And that's why I do voice messages. Like, I can literally be sitting on the couch, pressing voice record, and send out 3 invites in a minute and a half. And it's so much easier, and they hear your voice. Like, if you type you know, hey girl, I think you're so awesome. And I've really been thinking, you know, with all your positivity, like you would bring a great vibe to our team. And I just like know you would rock this. It sounds cool. And you can hear that I really think you're excited in a voice message. But if I type that out, they might hear, hey girl, I think you're really awesome. I know you'd be, you know what I mean? Like when you text people, like how many people have gotten in an argument with a friend or a significant other because they typed you something and it's not what they meant because you didn't hear them. Like when they hear your excitement, I'll literally get people back there like, I don't know how to use that record button, but I loved hearing what you said because they can hear that you're passionate. And also when you're, you know what I mean? It just makes it faster. It makes it just the whole process simpler for me. And I can do it right then and I could get a power of 3 done, follow-ups and everything in like 5 minutes and then move on with the rest of my day. And then I'm not procrastinating it. I don't have to be like, I don't have to worry if I pasted the wrong thing or, you know, and sent it. It's just they get me. And a lot of times they'll voice message me back and that's when I know we're destined to be together. Like, I'm like, you're my boo. Yes. They'll like find it and use it and they'll mess it up 3 times and keep going. I'm like, you're going to keep going when people tell you no, I like you.
Something that I do too.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Something that I do too that helps me to really focus on Power of 3 is just the mentality of clocking in and avoiding everything else on Facebook when I do it. Because, I mean, I'm so guilty of it. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm going to do my Power of 3. And then I'll check all of my notifications. And then see, I have more notifications after I check those notifications. And then I'll start scrolling Facebook and I'm like, wait, I just wasted like an hour and I did nothing. So I think like the mentality of like, all right, clocking in, nothing else is happening but focusing on this piece of paper and what I'm writing on it. And, you know, just getting into that mindset of it being a business, being your job, and you are clocked in for the hour. So don't tell my boss, but I do my Power of 3 at work. It's fine. But so I clock in at work. And for some reason, it also helps me to get into that like working mindset, doing it at work. It's fine. So just that clocking in mindset instead of just doing it willy-nilly here and there, I think helps me. I just said willy-nilly. That's also fine.
I have to turn off the TV and all that stuff too. Like I have to wake up early. Like I can't wait until Nick gets home. Like I have to, even being from home full time, I can find a reason to not get it done in a day. Like
oh, yeah.
you have to ignore your notifications. Even if Mary Lauren texts you 17 times, KP, 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 and then you say hi and she says hi.
That never happened.
It happens all the time. Actually, this weekend, and we don't have to talk about it because it takes too long, the phone went off and I was in the bathroom and Alexis came upstairs and was like, Miss Christina, your best friend texted you. And I was like, oh, did you see Mary Lauren's name? And she's like, no, but every time the phone rings like that, it's your friend.
Slightly guilty.
But really, like, that's how Facebook notifications are and stuff too. Like I have all notifications off for everything. My challenge groups, the only notification I have turned on Facebook is for Facebook to give me a notification when somebody posts on the Team Passion Fire team page. Challenge groups, everything are off because that's on my to-do list for the day. I don't need another notification to do something I need to be doing anyway. Like
that's a really good idea.
I don't need all that. It's all off. If my phone rings, it's Mary Lauren texting me, somebody calling me, like it's all that. Another great thing to do, like if you're doing PO3s, is turn your friggin' phone on airplane mode. Unless you're doing it from your phone, like if you're doing it from your laptop, turn your phone on airplane mode. I do that and it helps a lot. Like
that's a really good idea.
If you're working from your laptop, if you turn your phone on airplane mode, nobody can bother you. And no, like nothing major most likely is going to happen in 10 minutes while you send out voice messages. Like nobody, it's fine. Yes. Look, it has a little raised hand thing.
I love it. It is the coolest thing ever.
I can click lower hand. This is awesome.
Yes. Me and Aaron and then Crayetta and I have been using that and we just do it because it's fun. It's just
I do that.
But so I had a question and I got excited about the hand raise and I forgot.
Was it about turning your phone on airplane mode?
No, but that about the phone thing, the notification. So like that's probably my biggest challenge is the like getting all the notifications, and then also like when people are responding and they want your help and they're, you know, messaging you back from earlier in the day or something, and like you want, like they're obviously asking for your engagement, and it's so hard for me to not just go and answer them but sometimes, you know, it's not just a quick answer. It takes, you know, a long time, like, especially if they're talking about a program or Shakeology or just getting back to you after you've given them information. And my problem is not, you know, wasting time. Well, I mean, I do waste a lot of time, but it's the constantly being on, like learning when to shut it off, when to, you know, clock in. And like right now, you know, I am a stay-at-home mom and my kids are in school during the morning. So the mornings is the easiest time to do it. But then I do all the stuff in the morning and then people respond later in the day. So it's like, you know, it's hard for me not to just ignore it until I have time to go and check back in. And like, I mean, I probably could fit in like maybe 30 minutes in the evening, you know, after dinner or something to just respond to everyone and then shut it off. It's hard for me to shut it off. You know what I mean?
I think I
knew you were going to race for that. Go ahead,
I need to because I lived this life. You have to set those boundaries. This is a business, and if you don't, you are going to be absolutely fried. You're going to be fried. It's going to be your life 24/7. You're going to fry out and just die. Okay, you're not going to die, but you're going to feel like crap. And you have to set those boundaries for yourself. And if they truly want your help, they will respect that. They will respect that. And, you know, I think it's a great plan to check in, you know, after dinner, like you said, for like a half hour, just a little follow-up. And then if they respond again, just let it go until you have time in the morning, for your own sanity and to give yourself structure, because you can't do this 24/7. The whole reason why we push to do this is the freedom of it, right? We don't want to be a slave to our phones. You know, it's not a good life. But I fizzled out pretty hard at the end of last year because I wasn't setting boundaries for myself, and it was just really hard for me to detach from the people who needed my help. And I until I set those boundaries, like now I see it's like life is beautiful, and people do respect that, and they're not going to just run to another coach because you didn't answer them in 20 minutes like they wanted. They want you, so they'll respect that. Yeah, don't be afraid to do that. Sorry, I had to. I tried
to raise my hand. I tried to raise my hand, but I can't raise my hand since I'm hosting the call. I just wanted to do it. But really, like, and this is like in everything in life, like everything in life, you teach people how to treat you. Like, you teach your friends how to treat you. You teach people in relationships how to treat you. You treat, you know, a lot of, not to bring back up, you know, emotional topics that April talked about. But, you know, I was in an abusive relationship for so long because I taught him that it was okay to treat me like that.
Absolutely.
I told him it was cool. And you can get in an abusive relationship with a client. I used to have clients who, I mean, it's not the same, obviously, but I have clients who used to blow up my phone and blow it up and blow it up because they knew that I would message them back eventually. Like, they knew that. And I have never, ever, ever had a client that waited 24 hours and didn't order because of that. But I've had people I responded back to 24/7 who never did anything because there weren't boundaries set. You know what? I learned, who was it? Arnold Nakaha, I believe is how you say his name. He's a regional sales manager. You guys may have seen him post something before in groups. He did a sit down with Jade Clement, and we talked. That's when we had paired up as success partners. And he told her she was running a nonprofit fitness charity because she was 24/7 talking to people and never getting anywhere. when it's quality over quantity, you're going to have a better conversation with people. And he said, every conversation you have with people, they need to know that you're busy. So I would literally be sitting on my couch, and the first thing I would say is, hey girl, oh my gosh, today is crazy, but I wanted to take a second before I run out the door to talk to you really quickly, because I know that you're wanting to get started or whatever. So they knew from the get-go that I was in a hurry. I was not in a hurry at all. But I was in a hurry to get this conversation over with so that it was quality, not because I didn't want to talk to them, but because I didn't want to drag it out, and they needed to know that I'm busy. I don't have all day long to be their fitness slave. You know what I mean? Our conversations are important, and they need to know that. There are a bajillion people in the world. You're not the only person that needs help. And I think that when you teach people that as clients, it transfers over to coaching too.
Right.
And it transfers to your downline. And I know there are people on the team who hate it when they message me and I don't reply for 24 hours a day, but you're not any more special than anyone else. You're not special enough that I'm going to sit with the kids while I've been in that moment. And I cried. I was on my phone and Cole was trying to mess around with me, but I didn't know it. And he just jumped on me and I got upset. I was like, what, Cole? And I hurt his feelings because I wasn't paying attention, and I thought he was just jumping on me, trying to hit me and be a crazy kid, and he wasn't. He was trying to joke around, and he'd been talking to me for 5 minutes, and I didn't even notice because I was glued to my phone. And that happens. If you've ever had a full conversation with someone that you didn't know you were in, you're on your phone too much, and your husband should be mad at you. So should everyone else around you, because that's ridiculous. I turn my phone on airplane mode when we have movie times. I check my messages in the morning, in the middle of the day, and at night. And I generally reply with a voice message unless it's just a quick acknowledgement that you said something, because it's faster and I can send voice messages walking around the mall really quick. And you may hear the kids in the background, but who cares? It's my real life. You can respect that or get over it. I'm not going to be a slave to my phone. I didn't become a coach full-time from home so I could work full-time, you know what I mean? I didn't quit a 40-hour-a-week job to work a 40-hour-a-week job. That doesn't interest me. I mean, it's cool, but it's not. And the biggest times are when you first start coaching, and as soon as you hit diamond, all of a sudden you think you have to be married to your phone because your team will never survive without you. You don't want to create a bunch of coaches who are dependent on you for success. You have to find your own way. I don't even have a sponsor to reach out to. So honestly, I think everyone who has a sponsor to reach out to is really lucky, because my sponsor doesn't do anything. I don't have anyone to reach out to, and Lauren Knight doesn't have time to help me. She's too up for me, and she will. I used to think she didn't, but she will if I message her, help me. So you just have to find someone you can reach out to, but also respect their time. I try to treat everyone in the downline the same. I don't care if I personally sponsor you or you're 25,000 levels deep. I'll help you, but I'm not going to help you immediately. So it's not just you, it's everyone. You know what I mean?
And I think that's an important part for not just me, but anybody else who's really pumped about, doing the business, and you're getting those success points and you're making those challenge pack sales, and it's so exciting and you want to just do it all the time. And I don't know, sometimes I think for me, it really, something's got to hit me to make me want to change. And noticing that, my kids want my engagement more. And, I'm living with my mom right now. So I noticed that she's noticed that I'm on my computer a lot and on my phone a lot. And then my husband the same way. So it's those are, signals that I need to make time. And then what KP was saying, making it obvious to people when you respond to them that, look, I've got a short amount of time and this is what I want to talk about, and then just leave it at that. And that's, I think, going to be a big challenge to me, but I think that's what's also going to help me be more successful, because not only will I have my life, my Beachbody, business, but I'll have my own life too, and I'll have more time to be able to do the things that I need to do in a day and not just be, on here. So it's challenging, but if it wasn't challenging, it wouldn't be worth it. So,
and honestly, for me, and I know this call's getting lengthy, but whatever, we'll just make a couple more minutes. Honestly, for me, the more engaged I became in my own life, the more I appreciated the coaching opportunity, because I wouldn't have all this time to spend with the kids and with Nick if I was still working 45 hours a week. I mean, hell, when I first started coaching, I was working 45 hours a week with a hour-and-a-half commute to Nashville with traffic one way, and a 20-hour-a-week job at home via iPad. So, like, this is like an insane amount of freedom, like, which is why I had to get a Fitbit so I can do something with my life, like walk around. But honestly, like, the more engaged you become in your own life, the more you're going to learn how to work smarter, not harder. Like, make your hour quality. If you focus, like, the kids might be doing something crazy, but they're going to be fine. It will not kill them to play Star Wars for an hour while I'm doing this, or go upstairs and play a game or something like that. They're going to be fine. And, you know, if you have baby wear, Julie was on the call with her little mini muffin just right here. Her baby was fine. She could hear me from another room probably. Like, it's going to be fine. It's just working smarter, not harder. And then you have the whole day to not stress out about it. It's like waking up and working out right away, then you don't have to worry about it. Making time instead of finding time. It's that much easier. I don't have to find time to follow up with people, because I know that I will follow up with people at about 4 o'clock, and then they can until tomorrow. Anything else, homies?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Allie's got to go play with Shopkins, so she can't stay on the call much.
We're playing cash right now. It's cash register right now.
Oh, my bad. Cash register. Mary Lauren, you can piece it out, homie.
All right. I know for me, this was a very impactful call. I hope you guys really soaked that in. I hope anyone watching, you know, got something out of it. I know that it's almost impossible for you not to. I love April. I'm so thankful for her and everything that she has done for others, for our team. She's a huge puzzle piece for us. And I'm just so thankful. So if that's it, if there's no more questions, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. All right?
Thanks.
Bye guys.